This is not a good transition, guy. All right, fine. Well, that's not our theme.
Kasson.
This is our theme. Welcome to the Kasson Avenue podcast. We are extraordinarily happy to have you here with us today. This is episode number 168. I put an applause in as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So I'm your host, Adam, here with my brother Osama, who's my co-host.
If you haven't been here before.
And my dog is here. And
all right.
see.
Well, I'm glad someone's appreciating the knowledge I'm trying to drop on you today.
One day you'll have headphones to be able to hear all that shit. But that shit was like cumulatively with all the sounds. That shit was.
I told Adam
round of applause myself.
I told Adam that I usually be thinking about it, right? Like Sunday night, I'd be like, gotta get headphones. Monday at work, man, you know I should go and get some headphones today. And then by Sunday, I haven't thought about it since Monday. So Adam said he's gonna text me every day. And then I said he should.
You can see the very little thought that goes into
He's
the
so
podcast.
angry at me, but it's okay.
Yes, of course.
You get to hear it. They get to hear it, and I listen.
Yeah,
back
but
and
it's helpful if you can hear it. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure it would
because
be.
like I'm in the middle of the intro, and then you can be like,
Hey,
"Oh
I
yeah,"
haven't disputed any of this.
And then you can be like, "Yeah, man, you good? You got this. Look at you improving."
I'm sure you are, and I have faith in you that you have.
So we have a noticeable camera difference today. Deal with it.
Real
fast. We had a comment from a young lady. First of all, I would like to say
who's the young lady?
I don't know, but she was
Last
saying,
pod?
I just saw it today, and it was basically saying, can you do a pod without your shoes on, right?
What?
So here's a couple things I'd like to say to you. Number one, welcome and thank you for being somebody who is with vagina who represents this community of foot lovers. You know, because that's a big change. But also the answer is no. Except I'll make one provision, right? I'll oblige.
Dude, I've already talked about this.
No, listen.
You want to pay? We will play.
Listen. This is a woman we're talking to instead of the nasty dudes.
Still.
So what I would say to you is I'll oblige your request under the condition. Hold on, shut up. I'll oblige your request under the condition that you provide us a video of what you do while you're watching my pod with only socks on. Sound objectified? Great. Should. Anyways.
Yeah, listen. I've said Adam may not be down, but listen, I will pay you, or you will pay me, and I will show you. That's how that will go. My feet. But we will go to a completely different platform, and you're gonna prepay before I show you my feet. Because I have no shame right now. Why not? I'm trying to get ahead in life, and if you're just trying to see my feet, I got no problem.
I'm pretty sure I said this, but women, if you are even somewhat attractive, or if you're like a butterface, whatever, you have a cheat code to wealth in life now at this point.
And it's
not fair.
This is a good way to talk to you about why we actually are switching the camera view. We've decided to see what happens if we do.
And this is why we need to talk about things more than just the day of, because I don't care to explain that to them. They should be pretty obvious.
Discussed
and if we're going to do...
You just brought up the lady who said if we do a pod without
that's fine. If we're going to do the idea that you have mentioned earlier, they're going to see what view with it anyway.
If you go back a few, I'm pretty sure when we used to do this pod at my house, I'd be in slippers. I'd be like, there's plenty of times I just wore socks.
That's true. Go catch up on episodes 1 through 50, and then holla at us. But you got to play the entire thing.
Yeah, if you can go like it, watch it all, and then comment.
I need the view time as well as the views as well as the commentary. But like,
Yo, so I got beef, right? Like Wait, no, I haven't seen this. But what comment was this? I've seen Good Podcast Guys show. Good Podcast Guys show. I hope that's misworded.
I don't know.
Guys show. More like your purple pants.
Oh, it's on episode 144.
More like
I don't know why she commented on episode so far back, but it said, "Can you please wear socks and no shoes?"
That's crazy. Listen, we're gonna.
And according to the picture, it's a woman.
Hey Janice W. If you're still listening, sorry.
She'll get here eventually because it seems like she's about 25 episodes back.
Sorry to blow up your spot. Anyway,
no,
I think
no, I'm not. Listen,
I'm willing.
Comments are public.
Do you have an over/under on how many people you think will unsubscribe with this new camera view?
I think we'll lose. Where are we at? 316 right now. I think we'll lose 116.
You think we'll go down to 200 subscribers?
Yo, if we drop that far,
do you think we just stop?
No, because I think what might happen is this camera view could potentially bring a different.
Candid male faceplay, bitch.
Stop it. When you say that, the YouTube algorithms pick up the words.
Hey, come on in, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I guess if you want to objectify me for my face.
Come on over. Come on in.
I guess if you want to objectify me for my face, that's different than for my feet. I don't know which one is worse.
I don't know either. I think the face might get us more opportunities than the feet. The feet is just like a whole bunch of freaks.
Hey, Janice, tell your girlfriends to like tune in, you know?
It's just weird because we got an Aunt Janice, and I don't like that. So, hey, Janice, stop with the objectification.
We can call her Jan. We'll never call her Aunt Janice Jan.
Hey, J-Dub. That was your last name, W?
Every time I hear the name Jan, I just think of The Office.
Yeah, that's pretty true. So...
A lot of things to get to in the realm of sports. It is Super Bowl Sunday today. You will obviously get this on Tuesday. That has been established 168 episodes in now.
They'll have won by the time we posted this.
Yeah. So we got the Kansas City Chiefs led by Patrick Mahomes and Philadelphia Eagles led by Jalen Hurts.
Mahomes Hurts.
Yeah, but with a slash in between.
Yeah, I know.
You saw how I put the title in it?
Mahomes Hurts.
Yeah, you saw I put the title in the last pod where we use like whatever that bar is called instead of the colon. There's a bar to separate the name and a pod and the episode.
I don't remember that.
I don't know what you mean you don't remember. Did you look or no?
Yeah, I did, but I don't remember.
Well, I thought it would be a glaring difference since it's like every.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And then I the week prior I forgot to do this, but then I also put like the Instagram handles where they come up.
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
I did that twice today.
That's pretty cool, man. Good for you.
Learning thing.
I like that about you're trying to do some things.
Well, it's difficult to actually like get it lined up where you want it.
Yeah, it seems difficult, man. It seems all hard and shit. Sorry for you to.
iMovie is like a weird thing. You know what I need is one of those editing softwares I can use the touchscreen and just make changes.
Yeah, man. You would think we were like 2023 or something.
Nah, man. Not technology-wise in our pockets.
That's true. I'm more like 1997, something like that.
Yeah, I got, whatever, little floppy disks and shit instead of like the... I was looking at some article and it was like the things that were popular back in the day that Gen Z or whatever is looking at now and they're like...
Dude,
completely clueless about, and somebody had a picture of a floppy disk, and they were like, "Oh, you 3D printed the save icon." I was like, "You dumb young motherfucker."
So I have been trying to come to terms with the fact that honestly, I've been realizing I'm no longer the younger guy in the room. Right? Like, there's a time in your life
man, it's
where
been a long time.
There's a time in your life. Fuck you, man. You just told me that
every time you're in the room
makes your back hurt for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because I have to bend over for 20 minutes. There's no good way to do that. Anybody who has a dog relates.
Yeah, why don't you just fucking kneel? Like, put your fucking knees on the ground, pause, and do some things.
There's only so much kneeling I can do.
Pause.
You know how big this guy is? I gotta actually wash him. Otherwise, he's funky.
What do you guys do? Just foam together?
No, because he shakes around and everything's wet in there.
You take a bath too?
Well, I gotta clean the bathroom after I wash him, and then I jump in the shower.
So
not
how
at the same
difficult
time.
is he to wash?
He's not difficult. Like he's cooperative for the most part.
So why you got problems with your back?
But I have like the removable shower head, right? And it doesn't come down low enough. So I have to move him around in the shower to get to other parts. It's just a pain in the ass.
All right, man. It sounds like you're just terrible at doing this. But hey, either way, you telling me that I'm older than I told you I am already. It has no bearing when you just told me that washing your dog makes your back hurt and you have to reconsider plans for a whole week.
I never said that. See,
you said that walking
I never said I had to reconsider.
You said you had the butt scoot down the stairs.
The lies people tell. No, I said that my back hurts for 2 days afterwards because it's just I have lumbar issues.
Yo, we were really stupid when we were kids. Remember that? Just take a carpeted pair of steps. You're like,
yeah, but it didn't hurt.
Look how fast I can do this, Mom.
As a kid, you could scoot down the stairs and not have an issue. Like Daniel started doing that shit.
Your butt could take a beating when you were a kid.
Pause. I'm gonna put one of these things just so I can
just pause. Anyway, so
I thought about buying an air horn button So I could just it's be separate, like the Staples that was easy button. That's what it looks like. You just
Yeah, I mean, listen, we should get more props and things, but we remember now that we've changed and confined our desks.
I guess size. The only magazine cover now you can see is this Jordan one.
Hey,
Kobe is next to him, and there's another Jordan one.
I just want to see what happens. I just want to see if we drop in subscribership, or maybe we'll get.
I'm gonna put this right here because it's the title says the greatest of all time, and since we're gonna get into some things that I would like to punch people in the stomach about, it's only fitting that that's there.
We got some stuff, but we also have some goofy stuff to talk about because I have, dude. All right, before that,
do we talk about anything that's not goofy?
You interrupted me. I was talking about feeling like now I know I'm not the youngest in the room, right? Like,
oh, how dare I interrupt you? How dare I?
Dude, you call me older than I said how old I am, dick. I literally was like, I know I'm not as young as I used to be. Adam's like, yep.
Yeah. Well, my point is only that you interrupt me like it's your job, So I mean, interrupt you.
Technically, that is my fucking
It's really
job.
Not. I've had times where the pod ended and I'm like, should get a new co-host.
Sundays, my job is to interrupt you. But no, like, you ever go into like a room now or just being like, in a place and you're like, man, like, all right, remember being in like high school or even like earlier 20s when everybody, because you were like one of the younger in the family, and then like out of nowhere
what are you talking about? That's only because you didn't count the people who were under a certain age, but I was not the younger in the family.
I mean, like, at a certain point, you're not like, you don't have to worry about being considered like the oldest in the room.
No, never that. As long as you're in the room, I don't ever have to worry about
the oldest in the room. Like, I've taken classes where I was the oldest in the room. I was like, this feels weird. Even when I was a senior and I had to take a junior class over again, I was oldest in the room. Listen, I was like, this is weird.
As long as it wasn't high school where you had to do that most of the time.
I did it in high school, too.
Oh, well, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Because where your birthday cuts off, you should technically be the youngest in the room in many places.
I'm like, well, I know of two people that are
because you graduated, you were still 17, right?
I know two people that are younger than me, yeah. I was 17, but I was... So my birthday's September 3rd, and usually the cutoff is like September 1st.
August 31st.
August 31st,
like that,
some funny shit where I did kindergarten and they tried to make me repeat kindergarten. My dad's like,
you have got to be one stupid motherfucker to repeat.
Not because I was stupid.
I failed kindergarten.
It's not that I was dumb, people. Okay, it's that they like my birthday cut off, and Pops was like, "That's stupid. Why would he have to repeat kindergarten?"
Now you wanted to set me back an entire year of my life for 3 days.
He's like, "No." He's like, "Let him go to first grade." So like, I remember the teacher's name, and I remember
every year your teacher looks at you like,
"Huh?
Shouldn't be in this class."
I remember the guy's name, the principal that let me go because it sounds like Guadalupe and Guadalajara and Leonardo. His name was Mr. Guajardo, and
was his first name Eduardo?
Eduardo Guajardo. That would be hilarious. I think that you should always make your kids' names rhyme.
100%. Because mine does not rhyme at all.
But what would Adam rhyme with?
Well, it would have to rhyme the last name. That's the name that's going to be there no matter what.
No, I think Adam should rhyme. It should be Adam something Kawash, right? But like it should be a rhyme. Before your last
I think my
name.
First name should have just been a different name to match the last name in a rhyme scheme.
Maybe, but
because the last name, which is the surname, because I know
what would rhyme with our last name?
I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. I didn't have me, so it's not my job to think that far ahead.
Would you be? How creative would you be with your kids' names?
I would want to be creative to the point where they weren't getting made fun of, but they had a unique name. Because kids, I know it's in a different world now, but kids still make fun of kids.
Yeah, I make fun of kids with stupid names. Like, some kids got dumb names, man. Well, and then you got to make fun of the parents because they named their kids.
That's the first person I make fun of is the parents.
I think it depends. I speak from a unique perspective, right?
It's true.
I was talking to Vivi
because you're in no position to judge anybody for their name in today's world.
No, man. Everybody judges me for my name.
In 1986, that was a great name.
I still get comments for my name, dude. This is hilarious. I'll be at the airport. I'll be like, "Oh, this is ridiculous."
When the first George Bush was president, you were in a great place, because Osama bin Laden had people didn't hate him yet.
Speaking about names that get you made fun of,
he worked for the United States.
What if your last name was Bush, and you were in CPS? They'd all call you Pussy. Because Pussy Bush.
It's what's funny about that when you really cut it down. It's like if you're a girl with that name, much different than if you're a dude with that name. You're still getting commentary on your name, but completely different.
I think that
you gotta hope that you're at least an attractive girl with that name.
George is not the most appropriate name to put before Bush. It should be something else.
Like
Harry, Harry, Harry Bush.
It's kind of fucked up.
But his name could be Harry Bush.
What else? What else you got? Come on, off the top name. Go first. Thing comes to mind.
Well, listen, you got to give me some credit. Harry was right off the dome, like right off the top. So, like, I mean, I started out hot, which sucks because you put the bar so high, you know, right? Like, you ever did really?
I would make Harry
test
I would make Harry the middle name and make Dirty the first name.
Dirty Harry Bush.
That's also like one of those
Dirty Harry, like double entendre.
Yeah, you know.
That's actually not bad. A Dirty Harry Bush.
Yeah, that's like one of those before and after Wheel of Fortune puzzles.
Yeah, man. I like that.
Yeah, I would feel bad for that kid. It wouldn't be my kid. I could never. But it would be a great name though.
Long Bush.
Like if I met somebody with the last name Bush. Ew. All right, man. Let's go back to. I don't know. Are you done talking about your old age?
Oh yeah. Hey man, so we went to go get we went to Buena a couple nights ago, right? Buena beef. And
is that how it's pronounced? Because it ends with an O instead of A's. I always thought it was Bueno.
Bueno beef. No, I think it's a good beef. I mean, yeah, but Buena I think is also good, but in like Italian.
But I don't know how that works.
I'm pretty sure that's true. And I made it up, but I'm pretty sure it's true too.
All right. Well, if the things that you make up are then fact, I can't dispute that.
Like everything I say is to be taken as fact. So look, Vivi calls me, right? She's coming back from the office. She's like, "Food, cool. All right, give me this, and this." So I got a chicken sandwich. So
how do you like that for irony?
She brings the food. What irony?
Well, the name of the place is Buena Beef, and you got chicken.
Yeah, I don't always get a beef from there because they got other good food there too. Their soup is pretty fire. Anyway, shut up. Because what I'm about to tell you would perplex you and vex you and make you probably.
Well, I already started off that way.
You would probably punch walls. I was like, what the fuck happened?
A dog hair in my glasses.
She brings the food, right? And I open up my box, it's the little carton, the little Big Mac carton.
Right.
And something's missing from my sandwich.
Chicken?
No, I'm going to give you a...
Cheese.
No.
Bread.
Yes, the top bun.
What? That's the last thing I thought you would say.
The top bun.
The chicken part would have made more sense. You didn't make it a sandwich then. They gave you a tostada.
So it was so to be clear, they gave me lower bun.
Yeah.
They gave me the sauce. Mm-hmm. They gave me the fried patty, mm-hmm. right? The cheese I asked for, and then nothing. I think what they thought was the bun was actually the top of the box, and that's what they used as the top.
Maybe they dropped it accidentally, and instead of being dicks and putting it back on your thing, and they were like, "Oh, if we get a top from a different bun, then we're gonna have an uneven number." So they just said, "Fuck it, just give them the bottom bun."
This is much like.
I try to think in terms of how they might have been approaching it, you know?
I don't know what they did, but I was angry. I was like, are you serious? I was like, I'm mad hungry. Like, we waited so long to eat. It was like 8:30. I'm like, all right, it's time to eat food. I look, there's no bun. I got crafty, but before I did that, I called them. I was like, yo, I don't know how y'all did this, but you forgot the top of my bun. He's like, oh, damn. He was like, is it too late for you to come back? I was like, yeah, it's too late to come back. I was like, we're at the house.
So I shouldn't even ask you that. They should just be like, all right, sir, how can I get it to you? Like, I'll come to your house and deliver your top bun.
I've come to really despise teenagers and old folks almost across the board. Almost completely. Like, teenagers working, probably the worst thing that you'll ever encounter.
It's true.
Last time I went to Buena, I ordered, and then I went to the window, and nobody came to the window for 5 minutes. I was just sitting there, and I was like... It's like that point where people are going to start beeping at you, but it's not your fault.
You get to a certain point where, today's kids are just terrible. I don't know, what exactly fucked them up. I understand technology existed, but guess what? It existed for us, too.
Dude, these kids suck.
There's just no social ability.
Yeah, but they're bad at like, so they're equally bad with social shit, both the old and the young. But like, the old people will kill you with it. The young people will make you kill them for it.
You know what I kind of realized though?
You didn't like that joke?
Sometimes, I don't know when you're joking.
That was a joke. I'm obviously not killing young people because they have bad social
Yeah, but I can
skills.
see why you would want to though.
Yeah,
I've been in situations where like, I'll kill this guy.
I'll kill this guy. Like, if you throw too much sour cream on my fucking...
I kind of realized like the reason why the wheels aren't turning the way we would like them to on a podcast is because we have to. Unfortunately, now Gen Z controls what moves. You know what I mean?
What are they gonna do after Gen Z? There's no more letters.
I don't know. Apparently, also, I looked this up the other day because I was thinking about like when millennials started and stopped, and Gen Z officially ended. I think like in 2012. So I was like, well, I don't know what comes afterwards.
What
are
we?
It didn't even.
Like
we're millennial.
They keep backing it up. I wasn't a millennial back in the day. I was
millennials
like,
81 to
like,
96.
That wasn't the case though before.
So Daniel
like,
is
I think
Gen
we were
Z.
like Generation X or something.
No, that's before.
No, but before we were Generation X.
Because our parents are boomers, and then after them was Gen X, and then after that.
What is the world's fucking like? Why is it like the globe is basically a big filing cabinet full of fucking different categories?
Because the powers that be are the ones who decided to lump us into categories.
You really got to think about how stupid human beings are. Like, stop and think about it for a second, and it will really make you hate yourself, actually.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, everybody who's not at the top somewhere, wherever that may be, is a sheep to some degree.
How the idea that, okay, so we're going to kind of go a little bit sad for a second.
Wait, hang on. Because what I was saying is that we have to, our content, our aesthetic has to be pleasing to the new generation, the Gen Z generation.
No, I'm
because
saying
they're
like,
the ones who once they like what you're doing, then all of a sudden
I agree. We have to
everything
appeal to
blows
them.
up.
But in like,
so our generation ain't helping.
And talking about just like human beings in general, like for instance, and I guess we can do like a thoughts and prayers to people in Turkey and Iran.
Absolutely.
Because obviously, if you've not been sleeping underneath a rock, dude, they had like I've never been in one thing.
Well, it's technically Turkey and Syria. They had,
yeah,
right?
it's 10. It was like a 10.1 or Syria. Sorry, I said Iran. Syria.
I don't think it's 10.1. I don't think it goes that high, but I think it was 7.8.
No, I thought they said like something like a 10.1. I'm gonna look it up just so I could be clear. But obviously, if you haven't been sleeping underneath a rock or anything, you know that, dude. There's like many casualties.
Yeah, thoughts, prayers,
sad.
condolences to everybody out there, and hopefully, the count can kind of stop going up at this point. It's been
yeah, they said
because every day for the last week it's just been going up.
I just saw right now 29 minutes over 33,000 deaths.
Jesus.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, and they said that there were so many aftershocks afterwards.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But what I'm getting at really is that, oh yeah, 7.8. You're correct. I thought I heard something that was much more. Like even more crazy than that.
Yeah, I don't think the Richter scale goes that high, man.
I mean, who knows? It's a scale. It could go higher. Dude, let's not make scales about Richter. I can't help not doing that. So let's just talk about the idea that people, especially when things like this happen, humanitarian like things going on. That listen, I told Vivi the other day, I believe that we're going to start seeing a little bit more of this. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're going to start seeing actual like natural disasters at a larger scale, because if you look at it right now, we're in Chicago and it is February 12th. Okay, usually February 12th there'll be 20-degree weather, a little bit of snow on the ground, if not a little bit more, like depending on, but there'll be at least a remnant of snow.
Rap songs used to say use the word the month of February and cold as like some metaphorical shit regularly, because February was supposed to be one of the coldest.
Supposed to be cold, but no, it's not really cold right now. Honestly, it's 50 degrees here right now, and
there are some parts of the world, or of the United States, particularly the Northeast, that's been getting beat up with like generational snowstorms. I looked that up just to be clear.
Yeah, Buffalo
but generational,
got like 14 feet of snow.
Yeah, and then there was some other places just like this week. New England, I guess, like whatever that area.
That Northeast area.
But basically, once in a generation, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It's crazy. But what I'm getting at is that like after all this, people's perspective doesn't change and like want to be more of a humanitarian or even just a little bit less fucking abrasive towards your fellow man. Well, the human race is nuts, man. And honestly, that's why like dogs are better.
We can get into a whole philosophical thing with this. My most recent YouTube rabbit holes have included Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? And it's like, listen, man, if you're not familiar with him, you don't watch the interviews, go do it yourself and just. My man just drops gems all day long, right?
Drop a gem on him.
He was talking to Larry King. He did a Larry King interview a few times, and just because he's an astrophysicist for those unaware. Cosmos,
Larry Scary King. I mean,
Cosmos, the space, all that shit, right? So that's where his realm is, and they're asking him. Larry King asked him like just about like life and death, and does he fear death, and what is because he's technically atheist, right? Under the dictionary definition, he has said that he doesn't really identify with much of what the atheist community, how the like the rhetoric they use, but dictionary definition, he fits that. So he's like, all right, well, if you don't believe in like a higher power or afterlife, like, are you afraid of death? Is that something that you think about? And he's like, I don't fear death. He's like, I fear not making an impact, right? So there's some philosopher that he quoted, and basically it changed the way you think about life.
Sagan? That's his boy.
Maybe. But it kind of changes the way you think about things a little bit. Like once you hear some of these things, you can't not think about it that way. But he was like, the quote is essentially somewhere along the lines of, don't fear death until you have made an impact on the world that you live in. And I was like, that's some deep shit right
like
there.
You made like there's that thing like you had his job here was done.
Yeah. Like you made a discovery that kind of changed the way people live after you, or you made some kind of, you know what I mean? Like just you put your time into. You put
your stank on life.
I always laugh at that because while watching the Stone Cold clips, he was talking about doing a stunner, and he was like, "Put some stank on it." I was like, when you hear this fucking deep ass redneck voice talking about put some stank on it.
I somehow but it wasn't like Attitude Pop or that other channel. It was somebody else's channel. They were talking. It was a Stone Cold rescues The Rock, and basically it was a clip where I don't know what was going on, but basically it was like I forget
triple threat, like he was getting his ass beat by two dudes.
So at first it started out with Kurt Angle, The Rock, and Big Show, and then next thing you know, Prince Albert, he came out, fucking weirdo. I think, man, I don't even remember who else came out, but they all were fighting him, and the point was like, for some reason, it was like pandemonium. They went to the back and they were beating each other's ass. The Rock started getting his ass whooped by Prince Albert and Kurt Angle, right? And, you know, Kurt Angle, like, you wanted to hate him so, and you did hate him. Like, he was like one of those guys you're like, dude. It was like, remember Chris?
But I always laugh because his little, like, tagline, oh, it's true. It's damn true. That shit used to make me laugh.
Like, you remember, like, Chris Jericho? He's the asshole that you love to hate.
Fucking hated Chris Jericho.
But he was funny, man.
You know why? Because the day that he came to the fucking ring.
Used to do that
it was Y2K, like literally his first thing. So he was standing there, and then they had the countdown. Yeah, I fucking hated that guy from the beginning.
Remember for like, I don't know how long before, they used to have the screen go black and do a doof, 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 doof.
Something about the long hair blonde dudes in that WWF.
But the thing too many about Jericho, he was so funny because he was a good wrestler.
Stone Cold was almost a long hair blonde guy.
I know. Can you imagine if Stone Cold was named Stone Cold, but he had like long locks, like he should have been on Baywatch?
No, he was gonna be stunning Steve Austin.
Stunning Steve Austin. He's beautiful, Steve Austin. Fucking guy, but he talks the same way. He wouldn't have the same beard. If in some sort of bizarro world that's a thing that happened.
Wouldn't have been my favorite wrestler.
Never.
I probably wouldn't have even watched because the real reason why it became what it is because of him. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I watched wrestling back in the day. Like Pops used to watch WCW, so I remember watching all of the older wrestling with like like the Hulk Hogan's, Andre the Giant, and the Randy Savage,
the Ric Flairs,
Yeah, woo! They were talking about him trying to come back to wrestling. They're like, dude, stay your old ass back there, man. They will break you.
Yeah, his little fucking like in ring dance that he did to the walk.
Now he walks that way involuntarily. I can't do this.
It's pretty funny. We always end up in wrestling, guys. Sorry. By the way, happy birthday to Undertaker. I think he's like 58 now, something like that.
It's crazy, man.
Yep.
Man, and he just stopped wrestling not too long ago.
Yeah.
You know,
It's still a big controversy in the wrestling world about like, was Brock Lesnar really the guy who needed to lose the streak to? Like, he had the WrestleMania.
Yeah, it should have been somebody else. Should have came back. Stone Cold should have came back and.
He should have just not.
I always root for Stone Cold to come back. I know it's too late for him to come back now, even though he'd be doing them goofy.
They asked him a couple times. I think they actually just asked him recently if he would come back for wrestling. He turned it down.
No.
But they offered him apparently a big ass bag though. They were like,
of course, they got to give him all the money they make for him to come back. Like, I am the draw.
pretty much.
I am the law.
But it's one of those things where nobody should have ever broke it.
No.
It should just be one of those like legendary things where like, oh, nobody's ever gonna.
Like that. I don't like that passing of the.
Yeah, not to him. The
proverbial torch. No, not him. I don't think Brock deserved it.
Dude, I saw a Brock Lesnar clip when he was like, he tried his UFC stint.
Yeah.
We got his ass whooped.
Yeah, I don't.
All that fucking triple fucking shoulder muscles for no reason.
Yeah, that motherfucker got that shit on your shoulder got some shit on its shoulder.
Yeah. But speaking of, we'll get to this and just get it out of the way because God knows I don't really care to talk about it too much. But talking of passing the torch along and breaking records. LeBron James. All right, we'll get to it. So LeBron is now the leading scorer of all time in the NBA. He passed Kareem.
Yeah.
Okay. He has then taken it upon himself to say, I am the GOAT, which, fuck you, shut up.
I am the law.
So there are some people. All right, first of all, listen. I'm a big enough man to give him a round of applause.
You do have to. You gotta applaud that.
You gotta do it. I feel like the shot could have been a little bit more flashy, but hopefully he's not on the court thinking about it.
Well,
so whatever.
What I told somebody recently is, right, because I be talking to my guys, like some of my guys still from high school and shit. We be talking about like, because LeBron graduated the same year we did. But what I'm getting at is, LeBron is great, right? He is great. Mm-hmm. But when you make the comparison to MJ, he just doesn't make it, right? So I hate the argument.
The greatest of all time.
I hate the argument because it takes away a little bit from LeBron's greatness, right? That the idea that whether he says it or not, it draws away from the fact that, yes, to be honest, let's look at his tenure in the NBA. It's great. I mean, he's won 4 championships.
He had a big hype train in front of him as he was entering the league, and he lived up to much of what was expected of him.
I mean, he's gone to the finals, 10 times? I mean, he's had some great battles.
I mean, given he's only won 4 of them, but that's neither here nor there, I guess.
At 20 years in, he still does a lot of very athletic shit that a lot of players would not be able to do, right?
True.
LeBron is great. Get that? Don't get that twisted. Even Adam will say this, right? The biggest LeBron hater I know. Okay, but
is that true, or do you just not talk to people who actually know basketball?
No,
at all?
I just think that you're unrelenting. And when I talk to you're the only person I talk to on a consistent
I've given
basis.
legitimate reasons.
Yeah,
for
but
my hate.
I get it. But even Adam giving these reasons admits LeBron is a great player. But the problem with it is everybody's so fixated on the LeBron versus Jordan comparison that whatever LeBron does, since it's compared to what MJ did, now you gotta face facts. Okay. The thing is, MJ
talking about 20 seasons to 13 seasons. First of all,
right? Is that
start right there?
Okay, so that's what I was trying to remember the other day. Is it 13, including the Wizards?
So he drafted 84, 85.
Yeah.
He played. He retired for a season and a half. Retired again for like 3 seasons. From 85 to 98, 13 years. I think it's 13 in totality.
Years in NBA. How many years did I play in NBA? 15. So 2 years, including the Washington Wizards. Okay.
How's that possible? Think about it. Okay. So he was drafted 84. So 84, 85.
84 to 94, right? Let's say he finished it right around that time. Let's get it 9 years. He retired at 9 years. He played again from 95, 96, so because he came back in the middle of the 95 season. So 96, so that's 12 years, 13 years, I think you got to give it, because from 95 to 96, 96, 97, 97, 98, 98.
But simple mathematics. All right.
I think
98 minus 85 is 13.
I think he played 2 years in Washington.
Yeah, but 95.
15. It's 15. I'm pretty sure it's 15. Anyway,
fine.
Like, not to dwell on that. What I'm saying is 15 years.
Well, that's an important fact.
15 years. Just listen for a second. 15 years. That's a 5-year gap between what him and LeBron have played, or what LeBron and him played. If he wouldn't have retired the 2 years or 2.5 years or 3 years or whatever it was between the second time, that's 18. He would have had a 20-year career.
Yeah.
I believe, my thought is that LeBron would still be chasing Jordan's point total right now, because Jordan would have been number one.
And Jordan said it himself. He's like, if I was chasing stats, I would have retired in 93, and I wouldn't have retired again.
Got them shits. Listen, he in terms of fucking the way that went about, like, so LeBron has played in exponentially more Game 7s. Right, he's played in more playoffs. He's had to, so he's gone further into the playoffs with less success.
Does that point total include playoff run?
Yeah. So his success rate is low, but his playing time into the playoffs,
his appearances,
is well, not even his appearances, the depth at which he went into the playoffs every time, but without, it's because he's 4 for 10.
Yeah.
So that means that he's gone to the finals.
Hey, man.
He's gone to the finals and played,
every year I've been in school, 40% has been an F.
But what I'm saying, he's gone to the finals and played like almost like game 6 and 7s.
Yeah.
So he's gone deep into the finals and not won. So his success rate is low on that end. I'm not taking away from the fact that he's gone that far. Even to go that far, a lot of players never do.
True.
But what I'm saying is his success rate is lower. MJ scored the points he scored more efficiently. Okay? If he would have played another 5 years, I guarantee he'd be at, I don't know what point total, but he'd be in front of Kareem, and LeBron would be still chasing that total. He probably would get there, because nowadays he lives with the benefit of sports medicine. He lives with the benefit of just knowing a little bit better about how to take care of your body.
He's essentially a point forward in a point guard dominated league.
Okay.
So he can play any point on the court.
Yeah.
And when MJ played, he was whatever. He's a slightly bigger guard, I guess, in a big man league.
Do you see the issue here? As soon as we start talking about LeBron, we have to bring up Jordan, and that's
no. So this is what I was going to get at here. To me, Jordan at the top of the food chain, undisputed, untouchable in his status. To me, okay. Right. LeBron, great player, undisputable to be that he's great. His run should not be compared to Jordan's, because if you're going to do it, you got to look at a 360 view, and there's a lot of intangible things that you have to include. And just looking at the numbers doesn't tell you the whole story. And if most of the people, when they're looking at the numbers, they don't look at all of the numbers. Again, the amount of seasons that he played, extraordinarily important. Also, the success rate, all those things are important.
Game 7 finals, no. Rookie
of the year, defensive player of the year. Where my 10s at? I'm gonna give you the entire rundown of his stats.
That's why I don't really like that the 10. We'll talk about that. You know what? That's a topic for later.
Yes,
but yeah, Jordan's credentials speak for himself because of how efficient he was. He was just that great, and I want people to stop talking about LeBron compared to Jordan, right? Because it takes away from instead of us appreciating and really, really just savoring the fact that we're watching LeBron play as well.
Which you're not supposed to do 100% anyway, because sports by nature are competitive.
Of course.
This person versus this person, this team versus this team.
So
that has to exist.
Regardless of that, I'm saying that making the comparison makes you kind of forget, wait a minute, what he's doing is pretty special.
Yeah, absolutely. There's room for both. It's like the same way when Kobe was here, rest in peace, Kobe.
It's skewed to the other side.
No, not really.
I think
because again, you also have to think about the fact that
it'd be best if we never brought up Jordan when we talk about LeBron. Why do we always have to say LeBron is doing this season, but MJ? Why? Just stop talking about it. It doesn't matter.
Because it's the same idea of recording stats in the first place. The reason why there's a top 5 of scorers list. The reason why there's a top 5 assists and The reason why these lists exist is to compare against the players who are now considered the greatest. It's just how it is. I don't think that it shouldn't exist. I think that it should be more objective when talking about it. But you also have to remember, you're talking about sports teams that are, while they play around the country, they have a home team. There's a home field, right?
Yeah.
A home court. Whatever sport you're looking at, usually, besides like tennis. So besides the sports that are individuals, right? Boxing and shit like that.
Like individualistic sports.
Yeah, they don't have like a home city that they're representing, except, they might represent their own, but like whatever.
I've never thought about that before, actually.
I mean, you might have like
the
Rocky
idea-
be like, oh, Philadelphia, whatever.
Well, you represent. Well, yeah, I've never considered the idea that when it's an individual sport, when it's single player sports, you don't really have like a.
I mean, you might rep your hometown, you know what I mean? But like that's about it.
Yeah, but
you know
like
what I mean?
that's about.
So like the people from your hometown might actually obviously cheer you on more so, but like you have a favorite boxer. Your favorite boxer is not necessarily somebody who's from Chicago. It can be somebody from somebody else.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but I had never thought about that.
So basketball is one of those sports where obviously there's your home court is here, and your fans they can come here and see you. They can't. It's hard to go to another state and watch you. So it's like it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna root for the home team type of thing.
Yeah. If they don't win, it's the same.
And you know what? I think that's also a big thing that gets skewed with that Jordan LeBron conversation. That's a big thing that gets skewed with that conversation, the Jordan LeBron debate, because Jordan was in Chicago the entirety of his career, besides years that we don't like to discuss when he was Washington.
You know what though? You gotta look. If you look at them objectively, they were great years.
They were for sure, but I'm just saying, like during his dominant run, every Jordan jersey is a Bulls jersey. You know what I mean? Like everything that happened in Chicago. The fucking trophy case in the United Center has 6 championships in Chicago. LeBron fans are LeBron fans. They're not Cleveland fans. They're not Miami fans. They're not Lakers fans.
They're player fans, not team fans. Yeah.
So there's that argument too. Like things just kind of get skewed, man. Like,
do you remember like
biases are gonna exist?
And I believe that's a fairly new phenomenon. As well, not fairly new, but I guess relative, because it used to be that you were a fan of your team first.
True.
Players didn't matter until they got to your team. You hated them or you loved them, right?
And that's not to say like when Jason Kidd was your favorite point guard in the league.
Fucking loved Jason.
We didn't have a point guard that we were like, oh fuck Jason Kidd, we got him. You know what I mean?
Thank goodness Adam can attest to that.
Yeah, so there's times, but it's never like, oh, I'm a New Jersey Nets fan over the Bulls because they have Kidd. You know what I mean? Like
no, I never thought that way. I just fucking loved Jason Kidd.
But that's what it is with LeBron.
No. Now I think even beyond that though, like I think it's been that way for a while now, where people are just more fans of the team. I am guilty of that with one person and one person only, as Derrick Rose, and you'll never get me to stop.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Well, and that's also a different situation. It's not like Derrick was like, "Oh man, Chicago's just not doing it. I'm out of here."
No, he was traded.
Yeah. Where LeBron was like, "Cleveland's not doing it. Let's see what my guys are doing. We can meet it down with them in Florida."
How many years do you think he's got left in the league?
I don't know. I think now that he hit this mark, even though he said it's not really something that he was concerned with. Bullshit, clearly, because he's saying, I'm the GOAT. But I think he's going to try to set this.
He was going to.
I think he's going to try to set this a little bit higher. So I think we're going to see maybe another 3 seasons out of him.
I don't think you get 3 seasons out of LeBron.
I think
right now they're talking about how he's got a lingering foot injury. Now that could be just him trying to get load management on some weak shit, right? But I think it might be because he got the record, and now he's going to preserve himself until the playoffs.
I guess.
Also, we got some trades to talk about. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. I think we have 3 more seasons with him.
I think he might be. I think he's going to get 1 season with Bronny, and that's it. He's ready to go.
Yeah, but when is Bronny coming to the league?
Soon, I think. I think he's probably like going to be a junior. He's going to go straight to the league. LeBron has GM'd every team he's been at. You think he's not going to GM the NBA?
I feel like we're at least going to have until
Jack move. Get my son in here, motherfucker.
I feel like he's going to go to 25-26.
Wait, what?
2025-2026 season.
Oh, I'm like, so you think he's done that season?
I think after 25-26 he's done.
I think he could. There's the definite, as long as there's no significant injury or setback in his training. And that's another thing I got to give LeBron a lot of credit for. He puts a lot of money into his body to make sure that he's able to do this. And I guess if you're going to do it, you're going to do it that way.
Well, also, you got to think about the fact that, just not to bring it back to Jordan, but in his era, Jordan didn't make shit playing basketball.
No.
He made his money from Nike.
He made most the last couple of years in the league. He made like 38 and 39 million a year.
And Nike has been his bread and butter.
Yeah.
So LeBron is in the league where contracts of 200 plus million are commonplace.
Yeah.
So you got the money to do it.
No, I listen. I would, if I were him, I'd be out pretty soon. Nobody's gonna get that high in points for a while. I think nobody that's in the league right now is gonna do it. I don't think you're gonna see it. I don't think Steph.
There was a small list of people who they thought like could do it. Oddly enough, Steph wasn't even on the list.
Luka, I don't think Luka will be in the league long enough to do it. He don't want to be. He said it already. He's like, I'd rather be on that farm. We talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
But
they talk about Donovan Mitchell.
For me,
they talk about what's his name, Devin Booker.
Yeah. To close it out, the LeBron, because there's more NBA talk to get to. LeBron, to me, I don't want to, because I made the mistake with Kobe, and I've always really regretted it. Not really acknowledging his greatness, right?
I always just put it back to the nature of sport.
But the thing that happens is when they pass, you kind of like
dilute his.
It's that bullshit. They get the flowers after, and I don't like that idea.
No, that's why I said, listen, great, not Jordan great.
No, but I think you also have to take into account a lot of things he's been able to do off the court, right? Like he's done well by creating his own schools for the kids,
and that's great. But when it comes to a purely basketball conversation, it's not the same.
No. I know, but in general, I think you should appreciate LeBron for that. There's been no big news stories outside, no big scandals, right? Even our favorites have scandals, right? I mean, so there's no real big scandals. I think his relationship with his wife is dope. She seems like a ride or die. Her name is Savannah.
For me, it's a scandal that he decided to put his Space Jam 2 out, but it's a whole different conversation.
But to some that was awesome. But scandal is
to nobody it was awesome.
If that's as big as
to nobody it was awesome. If you look in retrospect right now, nobody's like, oh, that's such a great movie.
But if that was such a big scandal, then if that's the biggest one, then I guess you really got to give him more props. He stuck with his boys.
I don't know if I would say more props.
He stuck with his guys. He educated them and created a company that they all run. That's some dope shit. That's entourage shit, right?
Talking about the guy he does the shop with. What's his name?
No,
Maverick Carter or whatever.
But I think there's 4 or 5 of his boys that some.
You know what I like most about that show is that he's not in every episode.
Is it a good podcast?
Yeah, I mean
I've never really watched. I've only seen the clips.
There's good guests that come on there.
I think the guys I'm talking about.
Jay was on there. Jadakiss was on there. Obama was on there. There's
that's
good.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, I think the guys I'm talking about, they were his teammates, in high school. Oh. I think they're all still cool, and
man, salute.
I fuck with that. That's also very cool. But the way to do it is
you should always bring your boys though. For me, it's not like a plus.
If they're
for
not
me,
fucking,
it's like if you didn't do that. If you didn't do it, then it's a negative.
They're not fucking lingerers.
Yeah, I mean, listen. As long as they're not leeches and they're actually your boys, you should do that.
I agree. But yeah, so round of applause again for LeBron for his greatness. But we appreciate it. Well, we're glad that he's still around to at least do these types of things, and we've lived through some pretty cool. Yeah, you kind of Taylor, but MJ, we got fucking Kobe Bryant, we got LeBron James during our years. We got to see some really good NBA. And
although I will say still that
Derrick
big temper
Rose
tantrum he threw
Derrick Rose played in our times.
Yeah, man. Round of applause for Derrick.
He's getting pigeonholed and left in New York.
But people still love him, and they still want him in the All-Star game, man.
Yeah, but he's getting left to rot in New York, and I fucking hate it.
Well, they're talking about moving him a few times, but
but they didn't do anything. But there was some movement.
Yes.
So what do you want to talk about first?
Should we take a break before we talk about it?
Well, let me see what time we're at.
Because I feel like we moved in pretty deep here.
Yeah, we are. But I don't know if we're too far. Let me see. Oh, it's 47. Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about the trade.
Yeah, give you another 20 minutes or so, and then we get some other things.
Yeah, we got some other stuff, motherfucker.
All right, we're back.
All right, so what we talking? Trade talk?
What? We back in your face. As clear as we could be, right in your face.
Yes,
Not as clear as we could be,
much closer than we were before.
Not as clear as we could be because that'd be like 8K, and we don't even have
8K
4K.
Money. We don't got that money.
Well, we have 4K money.
You are on my microphone, like, sir. Wire, sir. Anyway.
Yeah, so we were talking about trades now. Trades. So NBA trades. I guess we'll start with the notable ones, right? Because might as well just go for the gusto.
You start. You tell me. You start rattling them off, sir.
So Brooklyn made some big trades, right?
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn is now where Chris Paul, where Kyrie and Kevin Durant are at. That's for sure. Oh. No, honestly,
that was the drum roll.
I wouldn't have been able to guess that both of them would be gone this time last week.
No, me neither. But I didn't really think about it.
So if you're not aware, you want to look up the exact specs of the trade, or do you remember? Because Kyrie went to Dallas.
Did the exact specs matter?
Kyrie went to Dallas.
He went to Dallas. He's now partnered up there with Luka. Spencer
Dinwiddie and somebody else, and like draft picks from 2052 or something like that. Some protected draft picks from 30 years from now. I hate when they're like, "Oh, we'll give you draft picks from 2031." Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be here in 2031. What if this, like, I don't even get to see the benefits of this trade? No, I disagree with this wholeheartedly.
So now I have to find where that is because he's not on the top.
Okay,
of the list, even though he was the first major trade that happened.
Those are the main components of that trade.
Just
so he went there.
Second, I'll find it in just a second.
All
right, Mavericks add All-Star Kyrie Irving. So Mavericks get Irving and Markieff Morris. The Nets got Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, who I'm not sure who that is, 2029 first-round pick, and 2 future second-round picks.
2029. That's like 6 years from now.
Well, they're planning in advance.
Some players will play and leave the league.
Here's the thing: when you're the Nets and you're just getting rid of your 2 biggest All-Stars, Harden's gone already, right? Or is he still there?
Harden been gone.
Clearly, I haven't paid attention. But
it's Simmons now. He's like, one is the loneliest number.
so what you did is you effectively got rid of your only major pieces that could bring your team to the promised land, right? Which in basketball is a championship for those who are unaware.
They ain't going nowhere but the fucking...
So now you're like, okay, well, realistically, we got a 5-year plan. Hopefully, by the time 2029 rolls around, we grab somebody good first round, boom, be a missing link, and hopefully we'll be contenders again.
If the NBA was the economy, the Nets would be like everybody that's like on the welfare line. Which...
There are other teams that would be in there with them, though.
Yeah, but they'd be there. Like, they would have went from like...
But one thing's for sure. They would be there.
They would have gone from like the... Like, you know, like really dope 5-star restaurants because they had Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
I think we should also just... I'm going to go in order of what this is NBA.com's trade tracker, right?
Okay.
Because some of this shit is hilarious.
Well, firstly, let's make more jokes about the fact that they left and now the Nets are nowhere.
I don't have any more jokes, so you got to go ahead.
Why, dude? Why not?
I don't know. I just didn't think of any.
Ben Simmons there now chilling alone, sad as shit.
Having Ben Simmons as the only All-Star on your team is like
he's not a fucking All-Star.
It's like McDonald's.
Been an All-Star?
Yeah, but it's like McDonald's. It's like McDonald's having fish fillet is the only thing on their menu. Nobody wants that.
The fillet fish is good.
Nah.
Yeah.
Listen, man. That's like saying fish sticks are good. They haven't been good since I've been like in 7th, 6th grade.
But the filet fish is good. Their tartar sauce, little slice of cheese.
The only good thing about the filet of fish
is on a bun this big.
The only good thing about the filet of fish is when they had those commercials with the singing fish on the wall. I was like, give me back that filet of fish. That's the only thing good that came from that.
So, all right, man. Back to seriousness. So Kyrie, actually, before we move on, what are your thoughts on that actual trade? What do you think? How do you think that's going to fare with Kyrie and Luka now there, who are now both very ball dominant players?
Well, it seemed like directly after that trade, Kyrie's first game with the Mavericks,
they scored 74 in the first half, which is a record.
They were down. Luka wasn't even playing. I think the first game that he was back, that he was.
Or maybe this was the second game,
and they still dominated.
Yeah. I think they can play well together.
I think they did what's smart. I don't know what Luka's a power forward. I'm assuming, right?
Luka's a 3, I say. Yeah, he's a big fucking dude.
3-4 maybe, whatever.
You know who Luka's body is similar to? It's probably like Carmelo. You know, like athletic, sneakily, but like also just thick body, pause.
Something about those European players, they never look. They never give off the.
Wait, we got to stop for a second. We'll go back to this, but I have to let you know that Vivi told me the other day she had no idea what pause was. She was like, so cancel us if you will. The guy who, the NBA player who was interviewed on what's it called, NBA TV or TNT, and he was with his guy, his teammate. I don't know who the players were. I forget the team they were on. But he's like, he's a pretty good looking guy, no homo, right? And then he got fined $40,000 by the league for saying that.
Yo, man, come on.
And then I told Vivi he should have just said pause. And she's like, that's what all the comments said. What is this pause? And I was
when you say no homo, the word homo is there.
Yeah.
So if you say the word pause.
It's abrasive. Pause, nobody would know.
Yeah.
She's like, what? I was like, she's like, what do you mean? I was like, how would I use it? I was like, well, this is going to sound funny, but that's a mighty long pole over there. Pause. And she was like, oh, okay. But she had never really, she's like, I've been hearing it, but I never heard.
Remember we were talking about last week that the origins was from Jay-Z when he said, where my dogs at? Where my soldiers at war? Got to pause that. Whoa, where your whatever.
Yeah.
So I got to thinking, in that same album, he talked about his credit twice, but in different ways. Number one, he said lost 92 bricks, had to fall back, had A1 credit, got more crack, right?
But A1 credit.
So I think with his drug dealer, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought because.
Were you not sure?
No, because listen. Then also in Song Cry, he was like,
I thought I raised you better.
He said he had very bad credit. You helped me lease that whip. So I was like,
two different.
One,
credits.
He has A1 credit. I get that, but I was
now?
like. Well, I didn't. I never thought about it before.
Well, okay, but are you telling me before this conversation you were unsure of what?
I wasn't unsure. I didn't think about it until I was like, wait a second. Now there's some.
So there was
there's
part
some
of
conflicting
you who
information.
thought that the possibility that A1 credit meant that he was able.
I just wanted to clarify.
Get like a cash advance on his credit card.
Like he went to
another brick.
Like he went.
Yo, I need this $14,000.
Like he went to the bank and he was like, well, I don't know because 92 brick costs quite a.
Oh, 92.
Penny.
Yeah, that's right.
It's quite a pretty penny.
That's a big cash advance. I don't think credit cards would do that.
Even the fact that you would have a supplier who would give you that much of an advance
bricks?
is a lot.
It's a 92 brick.
Like, wait, I don't know, man. You just lost 92 of these. You want me to give you 92 more? I don't know, bro.
But yeah, I'm just worried about you and your inability to know that.
No. I mean,
yeah, so
there's certain things you go back to and you're like, oh, okay.
So to recap, Vivi didn't know what pause was. Gave her an explanation. Gave her an example, much like a spelling bee. I use it in a sentence, and I gave her the definition. And so now she knows. But that was pretty funny. Now, hilarious. Going back to the Kyrie trade.
Yes. Look at us making our rounds. No, I think they have a formidable offensive.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
what other pieces. What else?
Championship.
What other pieces are in Dallas right now?
I wish I could tell you off bat, but I do know.
I would change it, but then I have to come back to it. It's just too
Dallas
much.
Dallas does their thing, but I don't know that they got all the pieces they need. I think what you're talking right now when we're talking about trades, we're talking about the marquee trades. We're not going to talk about the little small ones.
No, I want to talk about some of them.
Why?
Because like for instance, Celtics trade Vonleh to the Spurs. Celtics get future conditional second round pick. Spurs get Noah Vonleh and cash considerations. That is a hilarious trade to me. The Celtics was like, listen, just get rid of him and then give us something later.
We just need
like, we'll even give you money to take him.
I told one of my guys, I was like, it's much like when in semi-pro when they traded Mox for a washing machine.
Some trades are hilarious and are to be talked about.
I did need a washing machine.
Some are hilarious and need to be talked about, even if it's not a marquee trade.
Well, okay, then what about the next one?
All right, Lakers get Hachimura from the Wizards.
Yeah, but that was like part of a larger trade.
Wizards get Kendrick Nunn, conditional 28.
Russell Westbrook got traded.
29 second round pick. Yeah,
Russell Westbrook got traded.
But that clearly wasn't part of this.
No. But he's in Utah. Rui might do all right in LA. I think Nunn was doing okay too. That's probably his stock. Maybe he'll do better over there.
He had like a good couple of games in his first season, then he kind of fell off.
But I even think even this season he's been kind of doing okay, but I could be wrong.
And another hilarious one: Heat trade Dedmon to Spurs. Heat get cash. Spurs get Dwayne Dedmon and a 28 second round pick.
The way they worded
it just makes you like, if I'm one of these players getting traded, I feel so shitty about my worth. Like, this is all that you got for me? Fuck you, man.
Don't switch your wrist yet, Kane. That's a quote. That's a quote. Don't cancel me. I'm really starting to want to battle this cancel culture. Oh,
Cancel culture. I just pretend like it doesn't exist most of the time.
That reminds me. Because we'll bounce back and forth. But part of something I was thinking about this week was how would Bernie Mac fare in the cancel culture realm? It's like if he was such a he when he was doing those little bits talking about the little whatever boy, right? Like to me, if they defeated Bernie Mac, it would have been much like the Avengers defeating Thanos, right? He's the one that had all of the stones. Like Bernie Mac gave no fucks.
There are certain things, man, that's like...
I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers. That's my Bernie Mac.
Again.
I can do a better Jordan.
Again, it's the fucking Gen Z.
You squares?
It's the Gen Z shit. All right? Because mad generations live fine with the way things were before that. And now these guys are like bored. They grew up in a pandemic era where there was like, I ain't shit to do. Let me just find out how I can fuck everybody else's world up.
They're the worst.
Like, get out of here, man.
You know who I also hate? PETA. Hey, PETA. Go fuck yourself.
The way I feel about it is... The way I feel about it is really this. Like,
I like animals and I'm for them, but fuck PETA.
Oh, it's the same way I feel about World Wildlife Fund.
Dude,
fuck the World Wildlife Fund. You could have used a different... Now WWF had to be WWE, and it's not even...
You know what I heard?
You're what screwed up the brand.
Argument. You guys take all these planes going back and forth to all these things to go bitch and moan about shit, but you're killing the planet with all your little fuel. I know planes don't run off E85. Bitch. All right, I'm done with that. Back to the NBA.
Yeah. All right, so...
but I do want to put it out there that I do wish Bernie Mac was still around.
Yeah,
Rest in peace to Bernie Mac. Chicago legend. Love you.
And it's just one of those things where so many things that exist after you couldn't have existed without you.
I remember when I was first introduced to Bernie Mac, man. Through at Dave's house.
King's Comedy thing?
No, we were watching... what's it called? Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah, the original Kings of Comedy VHS, right there. That's yours.
That is all mine right there, actually.
Yeah,
Except I don't think that... Maybe not the Treehouse.
No, the Treehouse is horror.
But everything else I think is mine. Yep. I know it.
Probably.
Anyway, it's cool as that.
All right, so the Lakers 3-team trade for Westbrook, right?
Yeah.
So Lakers received D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt.
My God, everybody was like, yo, how did the Lakers just keep throwing trash out there and getting such a good trade value? Like D'Angelo Russell, they already won, and he was part of the reason they won yesterday.
I don't even know, man.
He was already there before.
He was. He just came and made a swoop-de-whoop right around back there.
Swoop-de-whoop? That's what they call it when you get like tossed over there and you come right back?
Yeah, it's like a boomerang.
Oh.
Have
you ever thrown a boomerang?
I've thrown a boomerang.
And
it's
if
never
so,
come back.
Have you ever caught it?
No.
What is this false advertisement about this dumbass? There's no way a boomerang really works.
Unless you got it like attached to a string. That's how they do the commercials. They're like,
you think so? I don't think.
Get over here.
I've never actually seen one work in real life.
I don't remember the last time I seen one thrown, but last time I threw one, it just got stuck on a roof.
I just carried this boomerang. They didn't account for fucking structures and obstructions in its
That shit did not come back. It had no chance of that.
Fucking boomerang.
All right, so then that's what the Lakers got. And then the Timberwolves got Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a 2024 second-round pick swap with the Lakers, 2025 second-round pick with Jazz, 2026 second-round pick with the Jazz.
Wouldn't you just think that, like, at some point you'd be like, dude, I don't know what's going to be going on there. Like, I'd rather, like, this trade for draft pick shit is hilarious to me.
It's also like a bet at the same time, you know? Like, I don't know who's going to be in the class.
Maybe we might
but also second round pick. What are we going to lose there? Whatever, take it.
Now you got to go to 8th grade games and look like weirdos, like stalking 8th grade. It's like they're grooming 8th graders.
Yeah, it's pretty predatory
weird, man.
system when you think about it.
I mean, listen,
But if you have a fucking Derrick Rose in 8th grade who's dunking on people, you're going to watch that kid and be like, if you keep playing in high school and then you're still interested, you come into the league.
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine being able to dunk in 8th grade. I would just go to
shed
places
on
and dunk on grown
so
men.
many people.
I would dunk on grown men if I could do that. Like, I'm fucking everybody up.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd been nice. Another life, man. You know? And then, all right, Jazz get Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, and a 2027 first-round pick from the Lakers.
Okay.
So the Jazz also currently have Donovan Mitchell, right? That's where he's at?
No. Yes. No. Donovan Mitchell's in Cleveland.
Oh, right. He just had like that 70-point game or whatever. Somebody big is in the Jazz. Pause. I don't forget who is there right now, but I don't know. Westbrook is one of those. He just became such a journeyman after fucking Oklahoma, man.
Yeah. It's sad. Hey, did I ask you the question whether you would rather be able to dunk a? I saw it on like there's this this Instagram I follow gave me an idea for some content we can make, but one of the questions was
I'm gonna bite all your shit.
fuck it. Anyway, the question was, would you give up sex to be able to dunk a basketball? Like give up sex for the rest of your life to be able to dunk a basketball?
I think I saw that you put that question in the group chat with Dave. Shout out Dave.
Did you? What'd you think about that? Yeah, shout out Dave. Maybe we'll try to bring him back for some of that like one-off content.
So wait. So give up sex for the rest of my life to be able to dunk?
For the rest of life, but you get to dunk a basketball. So
how much dunking can I really do?
In my scenario, I'm assuming because I have to give up fucking, right? I can't fuck anymore.
Under correct circumstances, it doesn't matter.
I should be able to dunk a basketball probably for a long time going forward, meaning I'm going to be in shape. And
if I have to give
up,
a
normal dunk, it's like the way they framed it. It's like Vince Carter arm in the rim dunk type shit.
All right, so let's look at it this way, right? Let's say sex, even with ED problems, into my 50s, right? I'll be able to do that. Maybe Viagra have to work.
Okay,
give me the 62, right?
Then let's say you're dunking until you're 55.
I say
like
once I'm no longer.
I mean, like 54 years old, you're like fucking and then the next day because you turn 55, you're done dunking.
I would say I would have to.
Kinda like fucking.
I would have to have basically like once I'm no longer able to dunk, that I can start fucking again.
So you mean that like there's going to be
if there's a 30-year period,
there's a shelf life of no fucking, right? Mm-hmm. That first fuck will be crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't think I'm doing it. I don't think I'm doing it.
So I wouldn't, but let me be honest with you.
I would think about it, but I don't think I would
think about it really hard because
I would like.
We're not just talking about just
like one of these trades. I would like cash consideration.
You know those dunks where like they get up and they just barely get over.
Yeah, like a rim
We're
grazer.
not talking about that. We're talking about like.
I feel you, but I'm already 33. I'm not gonna make it to the league just because I can dunk like that.
Yeah, but don't tell me that you wouldn't just go hoop everywhere you can and shit on everybody possible. To put the ball down that way, you'd at least be an internet sensation.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's true because there's
career dunk contest people.
They
aren't in the league.
There are mad parks out there where motherfuckers are dunking on people.
You can dunk better than all them. That's the stipulation here.
I would need some cash considerations.
You'll get it after you dunk on them.
No, I don't want to have to work for them. I want to be able to
Here's my thing, right?
If I'm not able to fuck, I would like to be able.
I love fucking, but also I've played basketball since I was 7 years old. I never once dunked a basketball. I've gotten high up and pulled the shit out the rim, like fucking, you know.
I've gotten pretty fucking
but I've
close.
never dunked the ball, and I fucking hate it, right? So I've fucked, you know. I've had a good run, right? If it's a matter of, all right, listen.
I don't think there's such thing as a good run. I want this run to go.
No. What I'm saying.
I would like to continue
in this scenario. I'd like to get 20 years of just dunking on fucking people. Look at this old ass motherfucker. Yeah, look at me. I'm going to dunk on you and your mama. And then as long as it's not 55 years old, then I got to stop.
If we're in one of these worlds in which I can wake up tomorrow, all of a sudden can't fuck but can dunk, might as well push it back a little bit. Bring me to the age of 21 and give me that scenario.
How mad would you be if the next time you went and played basketball, you could just dunk for no reason? Like what happened? And like it...
And it didn't affect my ability to get my freak on?
No, we're not talking completely separate from this.
Oh, well, then that'd be great, yeah.
No, but how mad would you be that you're like, wait, what? When did this happen?
I would make a YouTube series out of being 33 and just being able to dunk.
When did this start?
That's got to be impressive to somebody.
No. What's impressive is if you're putting your arm in a rim. I mean, they'll be like, it's probably because he's not fucking, guys. So I'm not giving a fuck either.
You think Vince Carter had a couple bruises on his elbow when he finished that shit?
It lives in infamy.
Not word, but like probably hurt a little bit is all I'm saying.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
You gotta imagine it wasn't like a little bit of rim rub.
It was just a
little bit of rim rub.
Yeah. If I'm not giving up fucking. I'm not. But I would think about it. I'd be like, yo, give me 48 hours. I got to sit here and pound it. And it would be like a literal.
Let me go pound it out for the next 48 hours.
I would be like when George Costanza or Seinfeld used to go to the river and sit out there and just watch out the lake. That's how I would be for 48 hours. Just like.
Hell no. Listen, if I had that 48 hours to think about it, I'm spending the entire 48 hours getting busy as much as possible. Because I don't know if this is gonna be my last time or not.
That skews your view.
No,
you can't think about giving up pussy if you're currently enjoying it.
As a man, we know that there's such thing as post nut clarity, and I'm not thinking straight before. Like, let's say it's been a week since last time I got some. You asked me this question.
So you just keep going back and forth. Post nut clarity only lasts like 12 minutes. You only got 12 minutes to really do anything you really need to do.
Well, that's when you need to make the most important decisions of your life.
Like, oh my God, the fucking food's not finished yet. I can't take
the most important decisions of your life should be right after you got some.
So you got 12 minutes to make great decisions. Should I buy this car? Oh, nope. Don't even do it.
Like, man, let me check my bank account. That's not a smart plan.
Like, no. Abort.
Yeah, just throughout your day, just put the questions in the notepad in your phone. And then go down the line and answer them.
Be like, where are you going? I got to go make some decisions.
And then do it over the course of like a week, right? So that every time you finish, you vote. And you're like, every day this week, I've thought that this is a bad idea, so I'm just going to not do it.
I wonder if women have that. Do women have post-nut clarity, or do they just have like post-nut days?
I don't know. I'm not going to try to speak for women.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't.
Especially where that's concerned. Let's see. So Nuggets add Bryant in 4-team
That's
trade.
Hilarious. Switch topic.
So Thomas Bryant. I don't know who that is really, to be honest.
I don't either.
But that's who the Nuggets got. Lakers got Mobamba, Devon Reed, and second-round pick.
Who'd they trade for?
I'm saying that right now.
Go ahead.
And then
fucking say it then.
The Clippers got Bones Highland. And Magic received Patrick Beverly, 2024 second-round pick from Denver, and cash considerations from LA.
Oh, okay.
Well, LA Lakers, not LA Clippers. I just realized there's two of them. Let's see here. Hawks acquire Fernando and Matthews. All right, let's get all this bullshit out of here. There's only one that really actually still matters. I think so. I'm looking down the line just to make sure I'm not missing anybody important. Oh, well, actually, there's two.
Wait.
So Clippers get Rockets, Gordon in 3-team trade. The Clippers receive Eric Gordon and 3 future second-round picks.
And John Wall, right?
The Rockets got John Wall, Danny Green, and a protected pick swap from the Clippers.
Danny Green's still fucking out there. He's the one that had the terrible ACL shit.
Isn't he the one who he was?
Danny Green, the one with he's like a Robert Horry, where he just
he was on the Spurs and he hit them bad threes for them when they were run
Spurs, right? Toronto with Kawhi.
And then the Grizzlies got Luke Kennard.
Kawhi is just not it's like no matter what, the Clippers are just Kawhi's a good player, but it's like at some point it kind of just fizzled.
Yeah.
He's a fizzle.
Well, John Wall is kind of like that too after he got injured.
That guy's a fucking fizzle.
John Wall has been unfortunate in his career as well. John Wall.
Yeah,
he's had some unfortunate luck in his career because when him and Bradley Beal were together, they were killing things.
Yeah,
he should have a ring.
I don't know. They weren't going to get one in Washington.
Well, no, but I mean him in general, just the talent that he is.
I just saw.
It's a shame that he doesn't.
It's like she invited herself over to your guys' house.
I saw that too.
Like, oh, okay.
People making plans for Super Bowl Sunday that I
was kind of looking forward to seeing the other dogs, man. Just go over there. I'll see you guys later.
All right. So the big kahuna here now, right? Because Kyrie was the other one. Kevin Durant.
How do you spell kahuna?
Kahuna.
I don't know if that's right anyway, so just keep going.
All right. So Suns land Durant in 4-team deal.
14 deal?
4-team deal. So the Suns, they got Kevin Durant and TJ Warren out of this.
Cool.
The Nets received a fuck ton of picks. They got Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson. Actually, promising young talent. So I don't know. You're probably gonna want to get rid of Ben Simmons at this point and find somebody better.
I think. Well, I saw a thing that said Ben Simmons has no trade value whatsoever throughout the whole league.
You're gonna get a washing machine for him.
Who would want him?
Who needs a washing machine?
Might get a footstool, which I could use, but he might get a footstool for Ben Simmons. It's the fucking worst.
So they got him and Juan Pablo Vallet. Don't know who that is.
Sounds like a fucking drug lord.
They get a 2023, 2025, and 2027 first-round pick from Phoenix. They get a
Phoenix was like, fuck it, we'll give you all that shit. Just give me Kevin Durant.
28 first-round pick swap from Phoenix. 2028 second-round pick from Milwaukee. 2029 first-round pick from Phoenix. And a 2029 second-round pick from Milwaukee. So they got a lot of picks.
Do you think that Phoenix? Okay, so
they clearly have a 5-year plan.
What? Yeah, they got a 5-year plan. They plan ahead.
Oh, I guess it was a 10-year plan.
Which trade, the Kyrie or the Kevin Durant?
Well, hang on, we're not done with these things yet.
Well, I'm just asking, which one will be more
important, crucial,
successful?
I anticipate the Suns are going to have a pretty much like it's like expected that they win. No, I mean not only because they got KD, they also got Devin Booker.
Of course,
they got Chris Paul.
But I mean, like they weren't able to win before KD. So you're talking about is KD's addition similar to that of, and I guess maybe not because they were winners already, but the Golden State Warriors.
No, not necessarily. But I mean, you're adding a generational scoring talent to the roster.
How many more years do you think KD got in the league?
He's my age, right? So he's like 33, 34.
Do you think he plays 20? Or do you think he's not interested in that? He loves to play ball. He does. You could tell he loves to hoop.
Yeah, he does. And he's been, relatively lucky as far as...
Not really. He had a fucking Achilles tear.
Well, that's because he wears low tops. 7 foot tall wearing low tops don't mean no damn thing.
It doesn't matter. The point is he had an Achilles tear.
No, it doesn't seem to have really taken too much of a toll on his game. So I think as long as he's able to make it up and down the court in 7 strides like he typically does, he'll be fine.
Okay.
I think we'll see probably another 4 seasons out of him, I would expect. 4 or 5. We won't get to 40, but I think maybe 38.
Yeah, I don't think he's interested in it. A lot of players aren't interested in doing that 20-year stint like LeBron has.
But they're going to have to pull it together fast because Chris Paul's years are more numbered than his.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chris Paul's got only a couple more years left in the league before I think he's tired.
I think like they have if they don't win it
in the next
season,
2 years,
yeah,
then that's probably it for him. That's true. I give it that. I'd give it that type of
Chris Paul, he still doesn't have a ring, right?
No. Remember, they almost won a couple years ago, but it just didn't work out.
Bucks received Jay Crowder, and then Pacers got George Hill again. He was there once upon a time. Serge Ibaka, which I didn't realize he was still playing, and Jordan Nwora. And they also got 3 future second-round picks from Milwaukee and cash from Brooklyn.
Okay.
It was a big trade. Obviously, yeah, besides the main reason that Kevin Durant's there involved. But, yeah, I think I was listening to the guys from NBA on TNT. They were talking about it. And they're like, the West, first of all, got much more deep. It's a much more of a competitive conference again, which historically it just always is. West has nicer weather. What do you want to do? But yeah, I think the Suns are gonna have quite a run. They're gonna have to have a run.
Yeah,
like now when you make a big trade like this, yeah, you make your team more stacked, but also now you have a bigger spotlight on you to see how things go with that trade.
Yeah.
I think Dallas has a bright future with this trade.
If he stays there, if he's happy there and he stays there. Because
that's true. Because
once Kyrie decides he's unhappy, it becomes a whole shit show.
Well, they were just talking about that. They were like in Brooklyn, the last month or so, he's looked like a completely different. He looked engaged.
That was crazy.
He was like
he had a plan. He wanted to get out of there, and he put his trade value up. And now and Mark Cuban's smart enough to think this will work or it won't. But if it works, I'm a fucking genius.
And I'm sure, for what it's worth, Luka's grab him.
Yeah, we need some help.
Yeah, I'm sure that they take his work into consideration. There is
You're right.
But it'll be interesting to see how things kind of unfold. They were also talking about just signing. I forgot how the term works, but there's more signing that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right. Just because the trade deadline ends doesn't mean that the movement's finished.
No, I agree.
They were talking about Russell Westbrook. Because I think he's one of the people who can still move based on just how his contract is or whatever. And Chicago was like a potential landing spot for him.
No, I don't. Chicago. I'd rather have not been that. It's like when Dwayne Wade came here for no reason.
Yeah.
He was here for like a year. Like, what the fuck did you come here for? And he went back to Miami.
Because he's from Robbins and he wanted to just finish.
I always hated that move. I thought that was the worst.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? I guess, he wanted to come play for his home team for one time, and I get that.
Well, that's what Chicago does. This is where your career comes to die, essentially.
Yeah. Or you start and then you go blossom somewhere else.
Yeah, and that's like every sport across the board in Chicago.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Sad. I don't know. What do you think about the trades? Who do you expect to have let's say starting next season?
I root for KD. I think that he'll probably put be the most instant impact. Though Kyrie, as much as I wouldn't want to be his teammate, probably will do a similar thing in Dallas. When it comes to overall success, I would say the Suns probably a little bit more immediate. The Mavericks have a better shot at achieving more in the long term if it sticks to, or if Kyrie sticks to where he's at right now and wants to be there. Him and Luka can really do some good things there. Mm-hmm. That's if he feels wanted and happy, and you can keep the Kyrie equilibrium at bay. But so immediate Suns, but probably in the next couple of years, Dallas more so. Even next year, probably more imminently than the Suns would be, because I do think that Chris Paul's getting older, and it's harder for him to do the things that he used to do with the ball, because unfortunately, though he doesn't play very much above the ground, right? Like, he's mostly a ground player, mm-hmm. but he's efficient in the way he works.
He's almost like he's very similar to Chris Paul in his playing style in a way.
Chris Paul? That's what I'm talking about, ain't it?
Oh, Kyrie and Chris Paul. I mean, they're
Kyrie,
very similar.
But Kyrie is
because they're both constant moving, really handle the ball really well.
Like a little punishment for yourself. You should have said something stupid.
No, but they don't play above the rim a lot. But they're crafty,
But Chris Paul is fast, slow as shit. Kyrie's fast. Right, and everything he does is like 2 or 3 times the pace of Chris Paul. Chris Paul just understands basketball, and his knowledge is really good. Though he's seen as a dirty player and somewhat of an asshole, it is what it is. But
high IQ players.
But what I'm talking about is his time left in the league to do the things he was doing with the tools he has. KD being there alleviates a lot, and it does a really good job for the team's ability to spread much like a snowshoe would. The surface area of which they throw away all
snowshoe.
Like a snowshoe. Like when you disperse all of the weight, it makes it a little bit easier for it to move around. Like what a team would be if you're able to say, "Damn, I can at least." It's like a release valve. Here's some of the pressure to you, KD.
Release the spit valve.
So now all he's got to do is really facilitate. Like the ball movement will work if you got, because now Devin Booker draws the same thing that KD draws.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to be open.
Double teams everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't leave either one of them alone, really.
Yeah.
Because Booker is one of those players. Second season he put up like a 70-point game, went crazy.
And the thing is, you can't leave Chris Paul alone, because Chris Paul being left alone knows how and has the basketball savvy to get to the rim. And get not
only that, but he knows how to get the ball to those open guys.
But I'm saying if they're both double teamed, then you leave a Chris Paul open, which is stupid too, because he'll be able to shoot it.
Well, you're not gonna double team. You can't double team both of them, because now you got 4 people on 2 players. You leave 3 people open.
Well, sometimes you got to live with them making a shot and these two not.
Well, true. You force somebody else to beat you,
or you can live with them making their shots, but you got to make everybody else be shut down for the whole game. Either way, that's a lot of NBA talk for that ass.
It is. There's something else I wanted to talk about real fast before we moved along. It had the Vibe and Billboard put out their top 10 rapper list.
Yeah, I saw that.
So Jay-Z's number 1.
Jigga, of course.
Kendrick Lamar number 2.
I disagree.
Of course you do. And then I think Eminem is in the top 5. Pac is in the top 5.
I disagree.
Biggie I think is number 6. If I'm not mistaken. I disagree with that too. Let me see if I have the screenshot here. I do.
I've been through this.
So,
Big is not.
They have number 1, Jay-Z. Number 2, Kendrick Lamar. 3 is Nas. 4 is Pac.
Nas should be before Kendrick.
4 is Pac.
What the fuck?
5 is Eminem. 6 is Big. 7 is Wayne. 8 is Drake. 9 is Snoop. And 10 is Nicki.
Yeah, they throw a woman. That's pandering.
Yeah. Yo, man, I was, her coming out party was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? Like that monster song.
I'm a motherfucking monster. Big is not in my top 10.
He's not
No, and it's
because of the work.
he wasn't around long enough. He only released 2 albums. They were great. Don't get me wrong, but his after that, because of the fact that he was unfortunately taken from us so young, there's not really a body of work that I want to judge it and just give him the nod because
I mean, a lot of
he
people
died.
have Ready to Die.
There's a lot
it's
of
pretty
rappers,
high up there. You know what I mean?
It's because he died. It was during a time when rappers weren't dying like they were dying nowadays. So those 2 dying was like a big thing, a major shock. Now, unfortunately,
But they were also
we become kind of desensitized, but
to a degree. But also, you got to remember at that time,
and I don't
even
think
at
they
that
should
time,
be compared.
even at that time, you were considering them the 2 hottest artists.
But I don't think they
from
should
each
be
respective
compared.
coast.
I don't think they should be compared because
Everybody got to be compared, especially when putting together a list.
No. But let me just.
The difference with rap, especially like in their period, was a very level playing field. It wasn't so many subgenres like it is right now.
Agreed. Here's why I think that they shouldn't be compared. Okay, the only reason they are is because
We're diverse, yo. We move from basketball trades to hip hop lists in 10 seconds.
Obviously, they're linked, right? Because of the situation in the East Coast, West Coast. They were the representatives of that time. They're compared then. Rap wise, though,
And friends turn enemies type
the
thing.
amount of material and music that Pac released before his death, to me, speaks to the fact that he was a little bit on a different level of artist than Big was. No disrespect to Big.
I think that their ages respectively were 25 and 26.
That's fine too. So that means that in the time that he was around, Pac was his, not his peer. I believe he was his elder in the game. In terms like if you know how you
Pac was also the 26th.
We'll talk about mileage on your legs for basketball. We'll talk about mileage on your lungs in terms of creating and spinning bars, right? So for me, Pac released can you look up how much Pac released before his death? How many albums? Because Big only released two, and then obviously Born Again, but that's not really it's like the album Yeah Baby from Big Pun. You know what I mean? It's not really. It's a posthumous, and I don't really like those albums. I don't really like to listen to posthumous albums.
I feel you. Capital Punishment was a great album.
Capital Punishment is not a posthumous album, though.
No, I know. All right, so let's see. All Eyes on Me, the Don Illuminati, which was 96, so I'm not 100% sure
he died
which
in 96, yeah.
part of that came out.
Go from his first album.
Tupacalypse. Now, it doesn't have it all in order. It has the year, but it doesn't have it in order.
I want to say it's like 5 albums or something.
So
he died,
Tupacalypse Now, Me Against the World.
I love that album. That's one of my favorite albums.
Strictly for my dogs.
Yeah. They got the Outlaws album, I think, too. But he released a lot of music before his death. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but there's a lot of posthumous shit.
Of course, but do you get what I'm saying in terms of comparisons? It's like you know what it's like? It's like, okay,
I'll tell you what, my favorite posthumous album that came out was probably Better Days.
For instance, that was a good album. But so it's okay. Here's how I'm describing their.
So I would say there's 4.
Here's how I'm describing their that whole situation. Right. For me, I work at my job now 7 years. Right. Tuesday, finally, we're getting some new people to come in. It's like those new people coming in and enjoying all of the. Everything that comes with being a veteran in a job. You've worked there 1 year, and let's say I get a specific spot for my work truck, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say they decide they're going to park there instead of me the certain things, liberties that I take or whatever. You coming in and you're not seasoned yet. You haven't done this yet. There's steps. You got to crawl before you walk and walk before you run. Right, run before you get into a car and drive away, motherfucker. Like, there's certain things you should be doing.
I mean,
and I don't mean it in any disrespect about Big. I'm just saying, if we're talking about top 10s, Big does not deserve to be in the top 10 just yet.
But you still have Pac with 4 while he was alive.
Yeah, that's a lot compared to the 2.
Well, one of those was a double disc for Biggie, so it was 3.
Pac's got a double disc somewhere in there. Are you still down?
Out of these 4, I don't think.
There's a double disc in there somewhere.
Well, All Eyes on Me was not. Me Against the World was not. Tupac Lives Now was not. And then
I believe there was
the Strictly album was not.
I think there was a. Anyway, I believe
Count the Belly
Kendrick doesn't
soundtrack?
deserve. Kendrick in no way deserves to be before Nas on a top 10 list. I think when you talk about Jay-Z and Nas, they could be interchangeable depending on who you are.
True.
But to me, they're much like putting a top 5 NBA players of all time list. MJ's number 1. It's foregone. Don't even say it. So let's start with with 1A or 1, 2 or number 2. 2 is number 1. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I think big. And we know Jay-Z and Nas are rap disciples. Okay.
Yeah.
So who's next? For me, my top 5. I think I got Pusha in there, and I think I got Joe Budden in there, and I'm pretty sure I've got and then after that, well, who's my 5th? Man, it depends on how I feel that year.
Well, then, so then there's not like a solid top 5.
I will say that I was listening. I've been going back in Spotify and shuffling through the Drake catalog, and Drake's a older shit, man. Drake's nice. I can't understand.
They got him at number 8.
They got him at number 8. I guess.
They got Wayne number 7.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
It depends, man. It's like obviously these lists are super subjective, but like
subjective.
there are certain ones where I feel like there's a top 5 out there where the order may be interchangeable, but there's a consensus, yes, where everybody has pretty much these 5 on your list. And for the most part, it's usually Jay, Nas, Pac, Big, and the 5th spot is maybe interchangeable.
It's a wild card.
Yeah,
for your specific tastes. I can agree, and I agree with
that. But
that.
I think is the more interesting conversation is the group.
My top 5 has no Pac or Big anywhere in the site, but I understand the one that you just came up with. That makes sense.
I think for me the group conversation is a more interesting top 5 to get into.
I don't think but that would be a more difficult task and more argumentative.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
Topic. But I don't believe Kendrick deserves to be in the top 5.
Depends, like, and they're your top 5 favorite to listen to, but top 5 who are just like they're the greatest. You have to give them their whatever.
My subjective opinion, he doesn't deserve to be top 5. And if wherever you see Kendrick, you should see Drake after, or vice versa.
Like I can make an argument for Jadakiss being top 5. Yeah. I can make an argument for Jadakiss being top 5.
Yeah.
I can make an argument for the Game being top 5. I can make an argument.
I think Game's top 10, maybe top 15.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he's put out album after album.
It all depends on how it impacted your life at the time you were listening to it and why you feel that way. That's just how it goes.
There's an argument if you also include some of the business side where 50 would make that list, even though 50 really has like 2 main albums for me.
Yeah. Massacre's dope. We were talking about the best. Was it me and you talking about like the best 50 songs? Like, I don't know if I brought this up. We'll talk about this maybe next week because we're running out of time today.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that more later. But I don't know. It's not the worst. The names on the list aren't bad. I think some rearranging could be done.
Yeah, I think because they were going through, I think like the back half on Joe Budden podcast. It's the top like the 50 to 41. Yeah. And those have some just like the order is interesting.
Yeah.
And stupid a lot of ways. But yeah, that top 10. I mean, the problem when you put out like if you're an official publication and you put out a list like that, you're gonna piss a lot of people off.
Because again, everything is subjective.
It is. But of course, I mean, it's easier to say that there's like a top 3 that have like a solid placement, and they're interchangeable, and then everybody else is just kind of whoever you feel belongs to fill out the spots.
No, I agree, and then like your personal opinion here, essentially.
Yeah, because a lot of people would say, "Oh, Jay, Nas, and M would be the top 3."
Yeah,
and there's a good case for Eminem to be top 5.
Yeah,
I'll say that. Whatever you think.
I don't think he is.
Whatever you feel about him today, different.
I don't think M's top 5.
No, but then you got to get into like your Snoops, and you don't want to like disrespect anybody at the same time when you're doing all these things.
I think Eminem deserves to be maybe in the 9-10ish area, but
there's a lot of people who should be included that are never really looked at the right way. Like you could put your Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott's in there, like the Queen Latifah's. There are people who belong higher up on the list, and you just can't really. Not everybody can have a top 5 spot.
No, so. That's it. The Mount Rushmore only has
4 heads on it.
Yep.
All right, let's close this out and get to the secondary part of this.
Yeah, so we're going to try something different today.
Sneakers will not be included in this segment. You can watch them in a different one.
We're going to try and give you guys a dedicated video weekly talking about sneakers, what we got on, what we're looking at, what we'd like to buy. We thought that it would be a better, more cohesive show if we did a sneakers devoted show, and we're probably going to try to release that sometime later in the week going forward. So we don't know what it's going to be named yet. We'll probably talk about that if you got any suggestions. But just so you guys know, that's where sneakers will be if you're looking for it. That's kind of why.
But you should be able to see it because there'll be titles on the videos of you.
But either way, if you're looking for that, just know maybe look ahead a couple days and we'll have another video dropping. It's in an effort to kind of release more material for you guys, more content.
And make it so that you foot freaks have some places you can go directly and leave us alone on regular.
We're going to try to we'll do a wider view then. That's why we're leaving this for our more devoted fans, those who don't watch us on pause and flick their thing around a little bit.
Yeah, the people who actually are interested in the conversation topics.
Exactly. Come up, so, but other than that, we hope you enjoyed that podcast.
All right. Well, I'm glad someone's appreciating the knowledge.
Thank you all for tuning in to this week's rendition episode, fill in the blank of the Kasson Avenue podcast. This has been episode number 168. I think we had some fun conversations here, and a lot of shit that has taken place this week that we haven't had a chance to really go into.
I'm sure we
detail
missed
with.
some stuff because
probably, but whatever.
Can't talk about everything.
Yeah, Grammys and shit like that, whatever.
Yeah.
Remember to go ahead and hit that like button, the subscribe button, follow us everywhere. That's all I really. That's the request I had for you.
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
Any comments? Just let us know. Tell us what you'd like to
Get
hear.
on our Patreon and give us your money.
Give us some topics.
But most importantly, give us your money. That's when we'll take your topics into consideration.
Patreon. It's www.patreon.
That's Patreon.
Is it dot backslash or backslash dot whatever? Just go to Patreon and type in Kasson Ave.
www.pbs.
And either way, subscribe for more content.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Or we'll see you on another time.
The next episode where we have our shoes.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.